everyone, Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel. This is a review now of a kit that you've all been waiting to see. I know a few people have already reviewed it. I think somebody's even started building it online. I haven't looked at a single review because I don't want to be sort of tainted in any way, and I just want to make my own opinions of this model. I haven't looked at any Sprue shots, reviews, nothing. So as you will know, last Tuesday, July the 25th, Airfix did a massive launch of their new Sea King helicopter in 1/48 scale. Beautiful kit, it looks like. To be honest, it was a great day had by all. As some of you will know, I should have been there. I was invited. I couldn't go because of Jess. Basically, cut a long story short, I can't plan anything. I can't plan to go anywhere tomorrow because she could go downhill overnight and then I'll have to take her to the vets, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. So yeah, I've had to refuse a lot of invites for a lot of things, and those people that have invited me and been refused, you know who you are. So I got in touch with Dale at Airfix and said, is there any way I can purchase one of these for the channel, please? And he responded and said, I've sent you one out. So thank you very much, Dale. Awesome. And I've got number 39 of 40 here, so I was lucky. Could have been like, you know, I was one away from the end. So as we can see, Hornby Hersden, made in India, carton number 39 of 40, NP, whatever that is. So this is apparently how your kit is going to come from Airfix. So the suppliers won't receive a kit and then have to send it out to you in a paper bag like you know some people do. They're going to get this box. Now, I do remember when Chris was doing his talk, he talked about, or maybe it was Darryl that was talking about it, they talked about making the size of the sprues the same size as the box so that nothing all moved around and slid against each other. And I can tell you, as you can hear, there is nothing rattling around in there at all. So, well done Airfix, really, really good. So, basically this is the carton that's going to come in, and it's very, very strong. It's much better than the carton the Airfix Spitfire came in, and very good indeed. Now I've cut the tape off just to save you the pain of watching me cut the tape, but I haven't. That's the first time I've actually opened the box. So let's have a look in here. As you can see, this has come absolutely unmarked, and you can see it's all well taped up. I'm going to put the box down there and Jess is going to have some fun with it. And look at that, guys, there she is on the bench. Brand new 1/48 Westland Sea King HAS1, HAS5, HU5. If you haven't seen the videos, what this is all about, it's about XV666, and it's the same helicopter, okay, but in 4 different liveries. So when she started out life in 1970, she was in this livery here. Then in 1988, she was in this livery here. 1990, she was in this livery here. And then in 2022, she's down in Portland, privately owned by a company called Heli Operations. So there we are. So that's our look at the box. Going around here, we've just got some warnings in lots of different languages and stuff. Cartograph decals. Once again, thank you Airfix. I love your cartograph decals. They are amazing. So there we are. So I am going to build this, and I'm going to build it completely and utterly out of the box. We'll do some paint effects and add some plastic card in any gaps if we need to or whatever, but I'm not going to be adding any aftermarket seat belts or instrument panels or anything like that. This is going to be purely out of the box for Airfix. They haven't asked me to do it. I'm going to do it for them. So you guys can see how this goes together out of the box. Right, so looking on the box, we've got some nice historical information there. If you want a freeze frame, you can read that. Lovely glossy box, and it's a very, very strong box as well. It's more like what we're used to from Airfix, like with the Typhoon in 1/24 scale, and also the Hellcat. The Airfix Spitfire was a bit of a odd one, where the box was very, very thin and easily crushed. But I've got one that I've bought second hand, and it got crushed within an inch of its life during delivery, and the kit is absolutely fine. So we're going to have a look in here. We're going to remove the tape. So we've got all the tape on here, which is great because it stops people fundling through and nicking stuff in the shops, which is what happens, believe it or not. People go to model shops and they steal sprues. I know model shops who have had all sorts stolen. So we're going to have a look at this kit, and then I'll do another video and we'll compare it to the old Hasegawa kit, because I've got the Hasegawa one here. So we have one bag of sprues here, and it looks like we've got this darker grey plastic, so they haven't gone back to the old soft plastic, even though it's made in India. And then we've got, oh, this just looks lovely. Wow. Another couple of sprues in there. So basically we've got 3 bags of sprues. We've got our instructions here and the box to one side and a lovely decal sheet. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at these decals first. Let's get these instructions out of the way so they don't mess up the white balance. So the decal sheet is lovely. It's, as I say, it's cartograph, so there's going to be absolutely no issue with them whatsoever. These decals are some of the best. Airfix cartograph decals are just awesome. So it looks like we've got all our instrument panels there. So we've got 2 different instrument panels, it looks like. We've got displays here for the interior. We've got decals for the rotor tip blades, well the tail rotor, but obviously we'll paint those instead. Got heat areas here, lots and lots of bits and pieces, and Royal Navy Rescue and the danger triangles and all that. Very, very nice indeed. You can see there the instrument panels. We'll be using those, and they'll go down with some microset and sole, and they'll be invisible. Really, really nice. Lovely, lovely set of decals. Heli Operations, that's for the privately owned one. So there we go. Right. So we've had a look at the decals. Let's put this plastic out of the way. Let's have a look at the instructions. As I say, this is my first viewing of this model. I haven't looked at anything else. Oh, we've got our colour call-outs to look at as well. So just like the Airfix Spitfire, we've got a million colour call-outs. Separate pages. So here's, I'm assuming this is version A, this is version B, this is version A. So we got 826 Naval Air Squadron, Royal Navy Air Station, Culdrose, Cornwall, England, 1970. So that's in the matte navy blue. Very, very nice. Got a colour call-outs here in Humbrol. If you don't use Humbrol, it's easy to transfer them over. In fact, I'll probably show you the transfer them to Tamiya colours or whatever. And then here we've got version B. Jess is down here to my left watching. She's loving this. And this is 814 Naval Air Squadron, Royal Naval Station, Culdrose, Cornwall in 1988. And we've got some research notes down here. And so that's in the BS381C 637 medium sea grey. And there's a dark sea grey colour there as well, so I'm not sure which is which on here. Oh, we've got a dark sea grey by the look of it and a medium sea grey. Very, very nice indeed. And then the next one we got is version C. Now this is the one I'm going to do purely because it just looks so amazing with all the different colours on it. Because we've got the, we've got the grey here, and then we've got the red, and we've got the colours of the roundels, and we've got the it's just all lots of different colours. It's really, really nice. It'll look amazing. I didn't realise we have yellow rotor blades. Is that times just one rotor blade? Times 4 upper, times 1 upper. No, so we have 1 yellow rotor blade by the look of it. Don't ask me why that is. Are the others the same? Yes. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments why they have 1 yellow rotor blade. So very nice indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the difference. The US ones only have the 5 rotor blades on there, which the tail rotors, which always causes people doing conversions an issue if they want to convert the Hasegawa kit into an English one. So there we go, that's very nice. And then here we have the privately operated one, Heli Operations, Portland, Dorset, England 2022. Portland's in the news a lot lately. So there we go. So very, very nice indeed. Whether you can go and ride in this, I do not know. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell us all about it. And you can see on there we've got those big air filters. And this one's got different air filters. This one has different air filters, and that one has no air filters. So there's going to be lots and lots of bits left in the spares box, I fear. So there we go. That's our colour call-outs. So looking here at the instructions, we got some wording there, and no doubt that's going to be the same that was on the side of the box. So we've got rotor diameter 397mm, length 460mm, 4 decal schemes and 2 build options. I assume the build options is tail rotors folded or rotors out. If we can do it with rotors out and remove the rotors, that's how I will do it rather than have it all folded up. And then we've got some specs about it here. Only got a 764 mile range, I didn't realise that. 2 Rolls-Royce Gnome turbo shafts. I've made Gnome engine parts. from in my days at Rolls-Royce. Right, we're going into the instructions. Normal sort of, we said Rolls-Royce then, normal sort of Airfix layout. We've got all our languages here, health and safety and everything. We've got our icons down there. This is just basically stuff about study the droids, paint. It'll probably tell you to wash the parts. Yep, no, that's the decals. Normally they have a note about washing the parts, but they don't seem to have it here. Before parts are removed, wash in warm soapy water. There we go. So that's what we will do, because that's what they told us to do, so we could take them down to the sink. So before you start, choose which scheme layout to build. You've got A, B, C and D, and drill the holes highlighted on pages 3 to 6. Blimey. So you've got to make your mind up straight away. You can't go changing halfway through. So HU5, excuse me, version C, that's the one I'm going to be doing. So that doesn't affect us here. So we've got only a couple of holes to be drilled in the floor there. I'm guessing that's the ceiling and that's the floor. Oh no, that's the same part turned over. Right, okay, so we've got holes to drill there, we've got holes to drill there, and they're telling us the size to drill them as well, which is really nice. And then going over the page, another thing to note there, if you've got these, the microbox drills, it's really weird. They don't do a 1.1 drill. You have 0.05 all the way up to 0.95, then it goes 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. They don't do a 1.1. So where it says drill 1.1, just drill them 1mm, you'll be fine. Okay, and then if you need to, you can get a sharp pointed knife and just go in and open it up a touch, or just push something in there, something like that. You know, you're looking at 4,000. You're looking at the difference in 1mm and 1.1mm is the thickness of one of the hairs on your head. So here we go. It's telling us to fill holes here for version B. Version C, we're going to drill some holes again. They got all the sizes really well laid out, really clear. So very nice. Thank you for that, Airfix. So we've got to go straight in and start drilling holes, and then we've got the belly pan here. So only one hole to drill in mine. We've got some bits to file off there, or fill. It's file and fill. I'm guessing you've got to file off a lump and there's a hole in the middle you've got to fill. We'll have a look when we see the plastic. And there's some bits there to file off and then fill. And then we're straight on to the interior. What's really nice, what Airfix do here, they give us all the colour callouts of all the individual pieces. So it's really nice to see that. So many Chinese manufacturers these days don't give any colour callouts whatsoever. In fact, they don't even tell you which version. You know, the Trumpeter now don't even give you this. They don't tell you what version it is you're making from what period or whatever. They just give you colour schemes. Sometimes you can't even identify what country it's from. So we've got the bulkhead there going together. Turn that around. We're going to glue that onto the floor. We've got the cockpit floor being painted. And you've also got the options for the different colours there. They've really done some research here. And then we've got another bulkhead part going together there. And then we've got the bulkhead going on there, and then we're going to add that into the back of the bulkhead from the cockpit into the main area. We've got this bit down here, whatever that is. And then we're going to build up our seats, looking very nice, these seats. And then you've got the option of putting cushions in them and not. I guess you would put the cushions in them. But it's nice that they're separate, because you can paint them and weather them. You can paint these and chip them or whatever, and go from there. So it looks like we're going for a semi-gloss black in our version. So it's going to have a black cockpit basically. So going on, we're going to add the control sticks there, and then we've got this box going on the back of the seat here. We've got joysticks going in there, pedals. Very nice this is. Center console. We've got some other bits and pieces going on. That's the other side of the center console. Then we've got this panel here which for controls, and then we've got two different versions. So they've gone to town with this. So you've got F18 and F17. So this is one we're going to be doing. We've got a decal to go on there, which is very nice. It's going to be painted black, and this is going to be 125, which is, I can't remember now. I can't remember what colour number 125 is. 125 is, click on here. It should be on here. 125. No. I'm sure we'll find it eventually. It'll be at the front, won't it? 125. What colour is 125? Where's the colour? Where are the colour callouts? Okay, maybe there aren't any. Okay, well, 125 is a certain colour. I've got a chart here, which is Humbrol. 125 is satin US dark grey. So there we are. It's the Tamiya. There is no equivalent for it, but I'm sure you can mix something up. So there we go. If you want to get some of these, you can. In fact, I'll put these up on the screen now, so you can screen save them. This was what came in Model Airplane magazine many years ago. So there's number 1. There's number 2. So you can convert all your colours. There's number 3. And there's number 4. Now bear in mind it's quite old, so there's going to be some colours that aren't on there because they're obviously releasing new colours all the time. So there we are. So we're going to build up our centre console, instrument panel. We've got a decal for that, and then that's going to go into our floor, and then we've got this front fuselage section going over there. That is step 19. Oh, I see. That is. I thought this. We're putting the instrument panel in, and then that was going. That is the instrument panel there. So that's the coaming there. And we've got some more seats going together. So we're going to build one of them for version C. We're going to build one of them. So you could build up these seats and these panels and everything here, switch panels. And again, like this is showing you A, B, C, D. So that's all of them. And then here you've got only for A and B, only for A and B, only for A and B, only for A and B. That's a winch. That's obviously where you cut the floor out in the version A and B. A and B, A and B, and blah, blah, blah. This is A and B only. So that's the sonar thing they drop down in the water. And then we've got seats going in. So this is going to be our version C. Got seats going in there. And then this is all A and B again. A and B, A and B. So basically it looks like the version I've chosen, C, is going to be quite boring on the inside, so I may have to change my mind because it'd be nice to put all that in, wouldn't it? And then we've got C and D, we have got some bits and pieces going in. There's something in there to make it look more interesting. It's nice that we got all this because the Hasegawa kit has nothing, it's just empty. It doesn't even have all this area over here. So here we've got the bits and pieces going in, and we're closing up the fuselage inners by the look of it. So we've got typical helicopter, we've got the inner walls going on. It's telling us to drill some holes, fill some bits and pieces, or cut out and file. And then we've got the top panel going in there, and then we're going to start working on the fuselage sections. They're telling you to add, is that clear parts there? No, that's panels to blank off windows there. Again here I thought that was clear parts. You don't need to put the clear parts in until you've painted it because it looks like they all go in from the outside, which is a very nice touch. This has been designed for the modeler, not by somebody sat on a CAD model just chucking stuff out. And then we've got some air intakes, or is that exhaust? That's air exhaust there by the look of it. Going together, so you have some seams there to fill. We've got some detail on the inside of there. And then we're going to close the fuselage up. Here we'll put in one side on, and then closing it up. We've got some detail going in there at the back, look, for the tail rotor. And then we've got some bits here it's telling us to fill. We've got some clear parts going in here, so that's a nice touch. They've got the clear landing lights or spotlights as one piece going in, so that's nice. You can stick them in and just put a glue in the middle rather than risk ruining your clear parts. So they're going to have to go in, and then you'll have to mask them. And then we've got a shroud there going around where the sonar comes through, and then we're going to add the floor section in, which is step 86 here, and then we're going to put a blanking panel in for our version C if we in fact choose that version. I think we probably will, but it looks a bit boring on the inside. Top panel going on there, which apparently this is what makes it, you can't make it into an American version because it's all different. We'll look at that. Engine intakes, we've got no detailed engines or anything. No doubt the aftermarket's going to be all over this like a rash. But don't expect anything too soon because the aftermarket aren't getting any samples until this kit is officially released. So there'll be no window masks, there'll be nothing yet until it gets officially released. So we've got the engine covers going on there, another engine cover going on there. Adding in the cover for the tail rotor. We've got this big lump here, whatever that may be, some kind of radar I'm guessing. And then for the C version we've got that, and it's telling us to remove that moulded on lump there. and you're going to remove that moulded on lump for that version as well. So obviously we've got a version coming with a moulded on lump, so we shall see. So for B and C, you're not going to remove that antenna there. You're taking it off there, but you're not taking it off there. So there we go, that's all on together. And then got the front panel going on, and then we're building up our undercarriage bays into our sponsons. Can somebody please tell me, are these sponsons the same as they would have been on old 66? Because if they are, I can put these together and make a mould of them for my Hasegawa kit, because the Hasegawa kit has the extended sponsons. Building up the undercarriage bays there, building up the sponsons. You've got these little winglets going on here. They're going to attach into the fuselage. Got the little supports going together. Nice they've made those in 2 parts rather than have a great big sink mark in there. And that's showing you how it all goes together. And you've got the other side there. Building up the undercarriage. So, with that undercarriage up, follow steps 121 to 127 below and miss out 128 to 133. So we're not going to do all that if we're having the undercarriage up. When building the undercarriage down, miss 1 steps 127 and go to 128 on page 26. So here we go, we're going to 128 to 133, we're going to build it with our undercarriage down. So that's nice, got a little tail wheel there. Then we're going to build up the tail rotor, the tail shaft going in there, or the tail end, sorry. You can have this folded if you want to, or you can just have it all closed up. And they've got like a plug there to fit into the back, or you've got another plug there to have it folded. I will probably build this, if I can build it and lift the rotor out, I will probably build this rotor out. Very, very nice indeed. And then we've got all the clear parts going together. Hopefully they fit all nicely. It certainly looked good on the models they showed in their video. Moss actually did a video and walked around and looked at the models, so go take a look at that. We've got the air filters here for D, the D version. We've got the air filters there for B and C, and there's the D version going together there. So that's assembling the air filters for the C version. This is the D, sorry, this is the B and C version. This is D, and obviously A has no air filters at all. Clear parts going together. Obviously got one there which is bulged and that one's flat. So don't put them in yet. Get it all painted first. It'll save you having to mask them. You could just shove some sponge in the hole when you paint it. Save getting paint inside. Nice. They've got this door open here, and you've got all the detail to see in there. Hasegawa one, as I say, has nothing. Lots of bits of antenna and bits and pieces going on. So this is version A, this is version B. Lots and lots of greeblies going on version B. Lots of them going down there. Version C, again we've got lots of bits of greeblies and antenna and all sorts going on. And then we've got version D. Again, lots and lots of lumps and bumps. You've got a step there as well. We've got a step there on that one as well. And then going over the page, for the version D, this is going to be not sure what that is. I'm sure someone will tell me. And then for A, C and D, we got this side winch for rescuing people. It's going on the top there, which always looks lovely. I'd get your model painted before you put that on, because it looks like it's going to be easy to snap off. Got the doors going in here, so I'm guessing you have the option to glue the doors open or closed. I don't think they have a sliding mechanism in there. It doesn't look like they have any means of sliding them, so you just have to glue them open or closed. And then we've got the steps for the crew to get in and out through the side door. So you're going to fit them in there, get them all painted. You've got a window going in from the inside on that one. So there they are, open, or you can no doubt have them closed as well. So they're only really showing open there. I'm guessing you can have them closed. Yeah, they got them closed there, so there's obviously they will just go in. How well they fit will be for you to test. But it'd be crazy to not have them open with all that beautiful detail inside there. So there we go. So that's all very nice. And then you've got the choice, as I say, of having the tail folded or open. We're building up the tail rotor there. Oh, so there's the 5-bladed one for version A, and there's the 6-bladed one for B, C and D. So I've got a feeling the Americans always had a 5-blade, so you've got both in here. So if you're building version A, you've now got a 6-blade tail rotor for your Hasegawa kit if you want to convert it to RAF. So this kit comes with aftermarket spares for Hasegawa as well. We've got the main rotor head going together there. It looks like a lot of lovely little detail bits. The main shaft, that's all going together there. And then we've got this radar beacon, whatever that is, on the top. And then all these little bits and pieces of greeblies. It's going to look really nice. 48 scale, it's going to be quite small, so it's going to look very, very detailed. And then for the folded rotors, we've got all this rotor head going together here. And then, are we using... I'm just wondering, what's this part here? Am I going mad? I cannot see that part now. D12. I'm just wondering if we have enough rotor blades, if we can pop the rotor head in and out, we can just drop it in at the top. Brilliant, thank you Airfix. That's awesome. I'm just wondering if we've got enough blades to build. Yeah, because you've got different blades as well. Using the same, you could probably build this rotor head up here complete folded and build this one up with them all out, use the correct ones, and you could actually change the display of your model. Interesting. We'll look at that, we'll look at the plastic. So let me get myself sorted out here, get those bags open, and we'll have a look at some plastic. Just before we look at the plastic, I just want to show you something, guys, just a quick comparison. Bearing in mind, this kit is on pre-order for about $49.99 from places like Jadlam and Scale Model Shop and other shops all around the country. And the Hasegawa kit is also on pre-order for about $48.99. So there's about £1 or £2 difference in the price of these kits. I just want to show you, I'm going to do a video comparing the two, but I just want to show you something quickly. Look at what Airfix have got on these bulkhead and these panels here and all this around here. Look at the detail in the seats. And then you look at the Hasegawa kit. The bulkhead is just a piece of plastic. And then when we turn the page on the Hasegawa kit, there's the interior we get. You don't even have open doors. So there's nothing in there. It's just a hollow shell. Whereas with this one, you've got, as you've seen, you've got all this detail, not only in the cockpit, you've got all this detail going in the back, depending on which version you do. So you've got all that in there. You've got all that in there, all those seats and everything. You've got the door open. You've got the internal side panels. Here, it's just literally a floor, two halves going together. So, you know, if you're sort of thinking about £1 between your model kits, I think here it's quite clear which one you'd go for. So, I've got these bags cut open, and this is that lovely dark grey plastic. It looks the same as the Victor was made in. So we'll look at those in a minute. So let's have a look at these sprues as they come out. So this is Sprue G, and I really like that. Airfix have done this thing with the hole, the big letter going through, so it's really easy to see rather than having it faintly moulded on there. You're sort of fumbling around trying to see what it is. So this is obviously a sprue for a certain version, because we've got a panel, we've got some bits and pieces here. So this is obviously not going to be included in other versions of this kit that are bound to come out. So we're bound to get all the REF versions as well, aren't we? So there's that detail on there. The plastic's really, really nice. It's not the soft stuff they used to use. It's really, really nice. I wonder how it reacts with extra thin. I wonder what it's like, because lately I've been, like with that Revell and another kit I've been working on, that Revell Hurricane, extra thin didn't work with it, but this, yeah, it's working. You can see it's sticky and it's stringing. I did that with that Hurricane, it just did nothing. It was really weird. You had to use the extra thin quick setting. But very nice indeed. So you can look up closely at all those parts there. That panel there, you can see the detail on that, which is really nice. We've got some antenna and bits and pieces of greeblies and stuff. Very nicely done. Odd that they've got the sprue connectors on the top end of the antenna rather than the bottom. But nothing a swipe with the sanding stick won't clean up. So that's all good. And then the next sprue here, this is Sprue E. And we've got our sponsons there for undercarriage. We've got undercarriage legs, which look to be beautifully detailed. Nice, they've got these tabs on them for the ejectors, so we don't have ejector pin marks on the actual legs themselves. Interior bays, no ejector pin marks in them because they've got the ejector pin marks on the back. Thank you. Again, all the ejector pin marks are on the backs of things, so That's really, really nice. This has been very well designed indeed at first impressions. We've got lovely rivet detail on there, lovely rivet detail on here. A lot of people are talking about why hasn't it got raised rivets. I actually asked the question through Moss when he did his day out at Airfix. Well, not, it wasn't Airfix, it was the helicopter place he went to. And Chris was saying it's so difficult to get really sharp rivets raised, and also because of the issues with sanding seams and stuff, which I perfectly go along with. And I don't mind that this doesn't have raised rivets. I mean, it's got raised detail. It's got, you can see raised detail there. It's just that the rivets around the surfaces are all recessed. And also places like this, you'd have to slide mold it if you wanted raised rivets, because the tool wouldn't come away from the rivets on that, you know, on the upper face. But it's lovely, really, really clean, crisp, sharp, flash free, ejector pin mark free where they matter. No real sinkage or anything. Lovely plastic. At the moment, I can't fault it. What I'd like to know is, please, are they the same sponsons as you would find on old 66? Because if they are, I'll make a resin mold of them. And no, I won't sell anybody, because you can't sell parts you've moulded off of someone else. Very nice indeed. I've got no room here to put anything down. Here's a big sprue. This is our first big one. This is the F sprue. And we've got our 5-bladed tail rotor there. So that's for version A. We've got the floor, the underbelly there, which is really, really nice. We've got raised detail, recessed rivets, but lots of other bits and pieces of raised detail. And you can see here what they were saying. You've got to sand these lumps away for one version and fill those slots. And here you've got to sand those lumps away. And where they've moulded them with a recess, you're going to end up with a hole to fill. So might be worth just filling those with super glue first, let it all go off, and then sand them away, and you won't have to fill afterwards. You can tape around them to protect your surrounding detail. 2 different instrument panels. We've got our instrument combing there. We've got bits and pieces of the seats. Look how fine they are. Again, we've got those tabs, these round tabs on here for the ejector pins. So very well thought out. I haven't seen a single ejector pin mark in a place that's going to be in your way. So that's really nice. We're going to end up with some nice spare seats in here as well. There's the sonar thing there, whatever it's called. And then we've got the panels here for if you're going to have all those control panels on the inside. Very, very nice indeed. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's the main frame that the sonar goes up in. Yes. Beautifully made and wonderfully designed, may I say. And that's not just because Airfix gave me this. I'd be saying it even if I bought it with my own pennies. So here are the clear parts. There's the only thing I know, because I heard them say it on Moss's live stream the other night, is that it has 2 canopies. Wow. These are very, very nice indeed. And what Airfix have thoughtfully done, you can see here we've got 2 windscreens. One has windscreen wipers and one doesn't. And the reason they've done that is because obviously the aftermarket are going to jump all over this, and Edward are going to make nice photo etch windscreen wipers. Now, to use them, you would have to cut those off, sand and polish the glass. But Airfix have done this so you don't have to. Forward thinking, that's very good of them. But the parts are extremely clear, and they look to be, oh dear, they look to be very distortion free as well. I mean, I'm not worried about this up here. I mean, that's going to be very difficult to make that with that curve in it, non-distortion free, but the actual windscreen itself is really, really nice. And I'm not sure actually that I was thinking that upper panel was painted, but it's not, it is clear. And then we've got the sides there, which is all very, very nice indeed. Looks very much like the Sky Crane, doesn't it? So, yeah, beautifully, beautifully done. We'll put these back in here to protect them. I'm expecting my doorbell to go at any moment because I've got wasps in my roof and I've got a man coming to sort it. Bloody things. So, next bag of sprues. This is sprue A. So you can see we've got the floor here. So that's the underside of the floor. Don't know why we've got all these crosses in there. It's probably showing you to drill those holes together. It's beautifully detailed floor. Got raised rivet detail in there. So if you're going to paint this silver first and then weather it and chip it, it's going to look lovely. I'll probably do that with the hairspray. But you can see on there the detail on that floor is beautiful. Bulkhead there with the detail on it. Again, that's got raised rivet detail on it. So you can see how fine, if they'd done raised rivet detail on the outer fuselage, that's what it'd be like. It'd be so fine. I'd rather have this with recess, to be honest. The wheels there with the tyres, the oleo, the tail wheel there. We've got the door with the steps be going on the back of there. You've got ejector pin marks here. They're obviously going to be covered up with that box that goes over it. And then for this area, rather than have ejector pin marks, they've put these tabs on there. Brilliant. We've got ejector pin marks there. They're going to be covered with the steps. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. In fact, it looks like you have the option. I must have missed it in the instructions. That is the door in the closed position. Okay. That is the open door. So you've got the upper and the lower with the steps. Look how beautifully moulded those steps are. They've got to be chipped and painted, haven't they? Hey, they've got to be done. And then we've got the inner walls of the fuselage. We've got ejector pin marks in there, which is a shame, but they won't be too difficult to fill because they're all just in flat areas. So we'll get some super glue in there and get them done. We've got some bits there we've got to cut out that section there. It's got to be cut out. But no, you've got all this hole here. They've got the holes in there for you to change with it and then just snap it out. And then clean it up with a file. Very, very nicely done. And we've got the rear bulkhead there with the wrinkling on the fabric. See that on there? Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And then this is our next sprue C. And this is obviously our main fuselage halves. And it's gorgeous. There's raised detail, there's recessed rivet detail, as we know. This is a million miles ahead of the Hasegawa kit. A million miles. There's the big wide step there. I've got a feeling, if you want to do one of the early old 66, like from Apollo 11 or something, I've got a feeling they had a step. It wasn't there on 13. Apollo 13 is the one I want to do. It wasn't there then. That step is something I think you'd have to scratch build, but now you've got it in this kit. As I say, this model is giving us spares for our Hasegawa kit. This is the aftermarket set for the Hasegawa kit. And you can still get to build this beauty as well. So it's really, really nice. I'm going to give you a close-up on this fuselage. I'm going to tilt it so you get the shadows and it shows you all the detail on there. It's stunningly gorgeous. Very, very nice indeed. Really, really nice. Stiffener plates there. And then on this side you've got all the, again you've got the rivet detail, you've got a stiffener plate there. Beautifully done. And the fabric texture on those benches is lovely as well. Really, really nice. And then our final bag, containing 2 sprues, we have, get rid of that bag, this sprue here, which is D, and this one has our 6-bladed tail rotor. We had the 5-bladed tail rotor earlier, and then we've got our different rotor blades here. So as I say, you've got a folded rotor head and an unfolded rotor head. If you've got enough parts, I think you could quite possibly make up a folded assembly using one lot of rotor blades and an unfolded assembly using the other lot of rotor blades and change them over. One would be inaccurate because it'll have the wrong blades for your version, but then you could display the model. So when you put it in your display cabinet, if it's not big enough for the rotor blades, you could at least have it with the rotor blades folded back, if you see what I mean. And then just stand the rotors up. That's what I've done with my Sky Crane. but the blades are straight, or are they? They seem to have a little bit of a sag in them, actually. They have a little bit of a curve on them. So I don't think... Usually they mould the sprue the same as the blades, don't they? But this, I'm looking at this here, you can see the camera focus on something. If I put my hand here, it'll focus on my hand. You can see that that blade there is sort of raised up. It's got a curve in it, so I think they have got some sag in them, but it's not overdone. We've got the tail rotor there, we've got the main rotor there, but it's very, very nice indeed. Those rotor blades are really thin. Not sure how they, whoops, careful Nige. Not sure how they mount. Looks like they've got a nice wide area, so you've got plenty of glue in areas, so you don't have much risk of them snapping. Just glue them on, lay them flat, let them dry overnight before you start messing with them. And then finally, the last sprue, we have here some more benches. We've got our tail there. We've got the, I thought we already saw that on another sprue. I could have sworn I've seen this on another sprue. I think there's bits and pieces in here that we're not going to be using for later versions that are planned down the road. So we've got the folded tail rotor bit there. I'll give you a close-up of this sprue in a minute because it's very detailed. We've got the plug there for the unfolded tail. There's a stiffener there by the look of it. That's the underbelly for the nose. We've got that inner bulkhead there, instrument panel, comb, another, I'm sure we saw a combing earlier on. There's lots of bits and pieces all over the place. We've got our engine intakes there, we've got the fans, turbine, the compressors there. Or is that the turbines at the back? That's compressors at the front, I'm sure of it. Lots and lots of pieces here. I'm not sure what that's part of the intake system there. We've got the actual head there where the tail rotor is going to sit. So that's all nice. Not too much, not like the Apache with all that stuff going on. But yeah, very nice indeed. There's that panel for the interior. But the way they got this fabric done is really, really nice. Instead of just having the consistent same pattern, you can see they've got it all, it's all varying, which is a nice touch. It's like when you buy resin seats, they generally get them moulded with the belts and they're exactly the same. You know, it's just to get them with the belts different. Talking about belts, I've got the big head set for the Hasegawa Sea King, but I've got resin seats for it, so I may well use the seat belts out of the big head set in this. We shall see. I said I wasn't using the extras, but it really needs seat belts in the cockpit, doesn't it? And I think you'll forgive me for that. Let me know in the comments below if you'll forgive me for using aftermarket seat belts and nothing else. But yeah, really, really nice. Have a good close look at all this, guys. It's beautiful. Look at the detail there with that grid and everything. It's really, really nice. That panel there with all those race switches. No doubt there'll be Red Fox and Kinta Studios and everything for this. See those intakes there. It's lovely. It is really, really nice. You see the rivet detail. I don't know if it's my imagination or what, but it looks like they've almost got like a kind of stressed skin. I'm sort of looking at there, and you can see the area where the rivets are. It's almost like it's slightly depressed. I don't mean miserable. I mean, you know, lower than the. It seems like they've got a sort of stressed skin going on. I think it's just my imagination, but it certainly does look that way. It'll probably disappear under a coat of matte paint. It's probably just a sheen on the plastic. This plastic's lovely. So there we are. So that has been a review of the Hasegawa, the Airfix. I'm messing about. That has been a review of the Airfix 1/48 scale, brand new. It's not even brand new. It's below brand new because it's not even out yet. Westland Sea King, HAS1, HAS5, HU5, and they're all based on XV666. So I will have a deeper look into this to see if it is possible to build folded rotors and extended rotors, because that would be really nice if you can. And I'd like to know in the comments below, why has it got one yellow rotor, please? I'd like to know. And as I say, the next thing you'll see me do is a video comparing this and the Hasegawa kit. Hands down, this is going to be like up there. But I'd also be interested to see the differences, because I think somebody said in Moss's live stream the other night that this area here is all different on an American version. This is on a Sikorsky, this is a Westland. But I'm wondering if you could kit bash. But, you know, would you want to cut up a £50 kit that doesn't have anything like this level of detail on it to add to this kit? You know, I don't know. But that step's very interesting, because that's something I was looking at. If you wanted to build old 66 in like an old Apollo 11, guys, it had that step on it, that very step. So that would be interesting. If you don't need it for this kit, and I don't need it, if anybody wants it, in fact, Hobby Time, if you want that, you can have it, mate. There we go. And I know Hobby Time is going to comment below, and he's going to tell me if these sponsons are the same or not, because he was going to loan me some sponsons to mould, so I could do them for my old 66. But anyway, I must fess it, old 66. There we go. And just lastly, this is what I want to show you, what Chris was talking about, or was it Dale? I can't remember. But they've made these sprues the same size as the box. So, you know, when you've got sprues in there together, even on top of each other, you're not going to get much damage, even if they're not in bags, because they can't move around. Beautifully thought out. Beautifully thought out. And beautifully made. And I want to say a massive, massive thank you to Dale for sending me this. You're a star, mate. And I just really, really appreciate it. I'm really moved that he's got the humanity within him to feel sorry for me, and he knows why I couldn't be there. I wasn't just shirking because I didn't fancy going. You know, he knows why I couldn't be there, and we were emailing each other last night, and he actually said he absolutely knows how I feel, so he's obviously been there as well. It's bloody awful, as anyone who's lost a dog knows. So anyway, enough of that. I'll see you all soon for another review of this with the Hasegawa kit. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.